Ndio maana ito public service. All right. Sana you guys can call in. Bunge iko wazi 0779-800-010 or 779-800-010. You can call in and contribute to the discussions that are going on this morning. But meanwhile, wacha niangalie comments. Emmanuel Kipsang anasema Gerald, I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to the land of President Biden. Tutakuja, we will come. So now Biden is our uncle, so we'll have to come to America. Bile anasema good morning Kenya. Good morning to you. Pauline Cheraro na namba yake pia. Emmanuel Kipsang anasema Trump is tough but bullying man. All right. Ni mtu mzuri lakini kiburi ndio mingi. George Musema anasema deep state is nothing. We the people, we have power to change the story. George Orwenyo anasema which things. Emmanuel Kipsang anasema I think Trump should move to Africa for those who say they support him because he behaves like African leaders. Geriodis Okongo anasema deep state exists everywhere and not only in government but it's incorporated in media, in organization, even in our families. Jafet Sang anasema following from Nairobi. Richard Michael Obere and some BBI report must be looked into, otherwise it will not pass. Ramadan Ishmael, tuambie Bitok vipi mambo ya Trump ama Miguna atamuapisha. Nimesikia ameanza kutoka polepole, jana alikuwa anacheza golf, so I think he's on his way out and we wish him well. Omosike bwana sema Rebecca Momanyi you are okay. Njara yoga. Naona familia zimeanza kupatana hapa, asante sana. Welcome to the tackle. Derek Peter anasema uko happy for now. Ibrahim Katiana anasema Ole Katiana Ibrahim from Kajiado nawapata live and clear. Congrats panelists, we like minded guys like you. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. David Marukamau anasema governors are advocating to have power to fire their deputies and also choose their deputies. By the way, you also need to look at that. Emmanuel Kipsang anasema uko alright. Ramadan Kishmal anasema Bitok there was rumors that Trump would not hand over power to Biden. How do you say about this? By the way, America see Africa. Where's the kwama power? America, you see even elections before they were through, Biden was already getting state security. So it tells you how these guys take seriously the running of the government.
And that's how we should all do it.
Kama ingekuwa hapa ingekuwa unasikia ati kuna jamaa amekataa kutoka amekwamilia sahani ya state house sijui mwingine kifungu ya kuingia state house, you know, a lot of crazy things. So by the way, my brother Ramadan Ishmael uko America ni America bana. Si hapa kiama iko Kenya. Nick Tarus anasema watching from Melbourne. Thank you Ramadan Ishmael anasema ama tupeleke BBI yuko. By the way, these guys need BBI. We need to deal with the winner, take it all. But no, Biden has taken it all. So we need that BBI there.
One thing these guys have that we don't have is they have strict adherence to the rule of law. That's something that BBI cannot cure. We will change our constitution, but as long as we do not adhere to the rule of law, tutakuwa pale. So hii porojo ya iti tuwapelekee BBI, hakuna huko atafuata sheria. On the 20th, Trump atarudi Trump Towers, Biden atakuwa White House, and we'll have a better new world order.
All right. We can only hope, because tulisikia siku ile Trump ya akiingia will have a new world order. Anyway, naona Sakonke Black anasema the handshake. Naona Kipsanga amekaribisha nani Washington DC, watu wa America wameanza kukaribishana. Sakonge Black anasema the handshake and BBI project has only been for two people, compounded with government machineries that are ready to bully to submission. Anyone has a healthy Kenyan view that goes counter to their Raila and Uhuru selfish mission. Alex Purity anasema morning my people. Good morning to you Alex Purity. Anasema Ramadan anasema America is strong and has real constitutional. There is no way Trump wouldn't go home when our rent is due. It's due. No nonsense of negotiation or blah blah excuse, but check out on exact day. Emmanuel Kipsang anasema Majimbo, please, that discussion about COVID-19 funds is overtaken by BBI as cover up since Uhuru family is part of the corrupt people who benefited from the sick people. What? Ibrahim anasema jambazi. Sakome anasema Makoa is full of himself and arrogant, and the braggadocio and lack of wisdom will devour Makoa. He doesn't know how to handle his juniors. You should invite him silently and tell his junior how to make things better. I think so. Manuel Kinsema Gerald Bitok, Magoa was mad because his colleague Trump was beaten up. He exactly behaved like former president, bullying and innocent. I bet when I say watching from Turkana, Turkana, Ellen Koski said that is very sad because everyone should express his or her views according to how things goes. So Magoa should behave like a learned person, not like somebody who was not joined pre-unit, even pre-unit. So kwa mtu anasema kupapasa giza hiyo sitamaliza. Ramadhani anasema Emmanuel Kipsang, what of swearing do you think Miguna would swear in Trump since Miguna had requested to swear Trump? I think Kenyans, you take a lot of serious a lot of things online very seriously. Gaddafi, tuma namba, wacha kulia sana ya time, tuma namba yako. Nasema 3 weeks, please send me your number on inbox. Ajabu sana nasema clear discussion with Yoran Majimbo Kibera bros. Asante sana. Vincent Rimoy anasema watching live from Tokyo, Japan. Asante sana kutoka Tokyo, Japan. Emmanuel Kipsang anasema Vincent Rimoy, saa nipe digits zako au is Japan tafadhali. Ningependa kusema na wewe kuhusu kunitafutia ndaisa, niite Mr. Kipsang at Washington DC. Alright. Naona biashara pia tako linaingiana. Kipkorir Moses anasema good show, the great son of Kenya. Thank you so much sir Kipkorir Moses. Rebecca Manyasa anasema likewise COVID-19 mess up everything. Poleni watu ambao walifinywa na corona. Yatora Isa kata Bungoma watching, asante sana. Reng Maka anasema watching Reng daily, kindly like and follow. Alright. Unaweza kimbia pale uangalie page ya Reng. Wewe ni wakili Majimbo. The surrender of lawyer, the lawyer nane Gisheru, Paul Gisheru's lawyer surrender to ICC. What does it mean?
Of course, the surrender of Paul Gisheru has been laced with a lot of rumors.
Because some rather came out last week and said that the president does not have any interest of reviving the ICC cases.
Definitely, that's what we are being told. In fact, he himself was confirming before the ICC chambers that he surrendered himself. He did not surrender himself under any coercion. But of course, when we come back home, there are a lot of rumors going on that there could be some quarters that, of course, coerced him to go and give some testimonies that would implicate some people on the ground. But the fact that he has surrendered to the ICC chamber, you know, it does not mean that he will go there and give information and walk scot-free. If he is found out to be guilty of the offense he's charged with, he will be sentenced and he will be jailed there. So it is also it's also something that he needs to balance properly, because in the first place, why was he running away? He should have surrendered long time ago when he was needed immediately. But it's very suspect for him to surrender this particular time when we know clearly that we have some political differences back at home. It's an issue that we need to look at keenly. We need to investigate. Last week I saw a video that surfaced. Alai shared a video that the former senior counsel Mutula Kilonzo alluding to some information that there are some people who had been, paid to not to give their testimonies to ICC. So there's a lot that is going to come up definitely, and all we can say is that we'll wait and see what will happen to this particular surrender. I know there are some people also who might the ICC chamber might come and look for certain individuals after that particular information has been given, and if it's found to be credible,
then I might start pursuing them. All right, as I throw it to you, Mathiora, I would say keep still and some thanks so much, Gerald. The show is so insightful, following from Doha. So sana to Doha. Thank you so much, to Doha. What do you make of that, Mathiora?
The truth is, in 2007, Kenyans' lives were needlessly lost, others maimed, property destroyed. Someone, somewhere, is guilty of something. We never got to the bottom of the matter. But that said, our president made a declaration after he was cleared of the ICC charges that no Kenyan will be tried out there. I'm hoping that he's going to come through for that statement. Well, it could be a bit too late, but I guess they could have conversation with the ICC. Let Gisheru come back here and let's do these as a sovereign state.
So who do you think is pushing it? What's going on? Where is this narrative coming from?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to read malice. The truth is, the guilty are always afraid and they keep running. Gisheru could have interfered with the ICC investigations and cases. So he needs to face the law. Justice needs to be served to the victims. So as far as I know, it's people finally doing what they should have done a long time ago. Yes.
All right. Majimbo, there's a conversation that it's a certain individual that's being targeted, actually, in the person of the deputy president. That is already being targeted. And there's already motions that is flying around on what it means for him and what it doesn't. In case it heads where they are saying that they are actually targeting him, what could be the possibility, actually, in a nation that's already polarized? Right now, we are fighting about BBI. These and these are betrayed. This one and this one. There's politics that's going all over. What does that mean? Especially at the point where you want to talk about uniting the country.
That's a very sensitive issue because 207 leaves a serious curse among Kenyans. And you see, when the name of the deputy president starts being thrown around, it actually raises emotions among certain people. You see, I do not like revisiting that particular kind of a scenario that happened in 207 because people fought, people got killed, and it was a tribe against each other. Tribe went against other tribes. If we continue in this particular manner, we will also see that kind of unfortunate circumstances also starting to rise up. Tempers will also start rising up, and that's how people get polarized, and we have people that will come about start fueling wars and making statements that incite people on the ground. So it's an issue that we do not necessarily need to keep on bringing up the name of the DP into this particular debacle. The same way my brother said, if Paul Gisheru is guilty, he will be found guilty, he will be sentenced, he will be jailed. I must say it does not necessarily need to happen here. He surrendered himself to the ICC. Let the process go there. If it's a credible process, let it happen. And if he's found guilty, let him be jailed. We finish these things and move on.
Gerald, lisemwalo lipo. Na kama halipo, laja. There is smoke somewhere, which means there is fire. I'm a victim of the 2007 chaos. What was done to my family affects me to date. Justice has never been served. We know that the greatest beneficiaries of whatever happened then was the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki. They should have taken the most responsibility. Nobody went after them. Our president, the deputy president, went to the ICC together with others. The matter was not conclusively settled. If we are going to revisit, if this is something that we are serious about, let all the stones be turned. Let's go under there.
And we start afresh.
And let's heal these. Not for our own sake, but for the sake of the future of this nation. There are people who to date are still very bitter. At least I got over the bitterness. But then the remains of what was our home, it's there. You go to Kedoa in Kericho County, the building is still there. Even the money they gave out to help victims restart, waliiba. So
the same guys in government.
Yes, the people who benefited most ended up being the perpetrators, because the victims then walikuwa wamefurushwa. Sasa hii issue kama tumeirejelea, nasema tutoe koti, tukunje shati, let's get into the mud. Remember what I said earlier. The greatest beneficiary ilikuwa Raila Amolo Odinga na Mwai Kibaki. 2007 election iliibiwa. Everybody knows that. Can we start there? Let those who bear the most responsibility, and I guess my learned friend here will tell you, let them ndo wafuatiliwe. There is a president, sijui ni Serbia ama ni wapi, ame step aside. Amesema okay, hii story imeniguza, nilifanya. Let the law take its course. Can we have that here for once? If indeed we mean well for Kenya. Hii hata inatosha tuseme BBI kando. Maybe we can start the reconciliation process by going backwards from 2017, 2007, evil. 1963 is not so far away. Some countries like the US have a longer history than ours, and yet they've resolved most of it, and they are great because of that. Tusiguzaguze, acha nyundo yanguke comprehensively.
Tuanze 1963. That's quite sentimental. Pole sana about your family. Pole sana. Really, pole about that. And you know, these guys play politics with things that really affect people personally. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we go wrong.
And
because, you know, we make it podium business. There's no emotion about it. But there's someone else who, whenever we bring that issue, it brings up other issues. I don't know.
And just to add something else. So, in 2007, we were uprooted from Kericho County. Tukakimbilia Nairobi. So in 2017, I was in Kawangware. And you remember NASA Jubilee?
Yeah.
And we had all that tension in the informal settlements. Bezi yangu wa Kawangware. Wakati huo nilikuwa sana niko busy bombers. But can you imagine having gone through what happened in 2007 and then every day when I leave bombers, I wasn't sure that I was going to get home because of the tensions that had been inflamed. And we had all these people baying for blood over what they don't even know. And then our leaders take it for granted. They think that this is a sport. Maisha ya watu tunaweza cheza nayo tu. Hao watu ambao wameanza kuchora hii axis. Kwamba Gisheru, DP, they would better be ready to go the whole hog. Let us, as in, hii tusicheze nayo. It's people's lives.
Kama tunarudia turudie yote.
Ni kila kitu. Tumwage mboga, tumwage ugali. Unanipata?
Yeah.
Let's have a clean slate. It's not a joke. This is life. People are going to lose their lives. You see, like, over the weekend I heard that in Marakwet, two young people were shot and killed. They'll never come back. And then our leaders want to play politics with that. No, we need to hold these people responsible. If you talk because you have a mouth, kumbuka kwamba that mouth can do something else. Yeah. You can use it to drink water. Unaweza kula na pia unaweza funga. It helps. Ndani ya huo mdomo hata kuna bacteria na germs zina find shelter. Maybe that's a more useful way of using your mouth. If opening it, italeta uchochezi. Please, let's not play with people's lives.
Alright. Umesikia viongozi tucheze na maisha ya watu.
Briefly just in response to what my friend has said, and without necessarily hurting your feelings, because I understand that you were affected in the 207 violence. Pole sana. But what I must say is that, you know, ICC as a court of law, it also has principles, it has doctrines, and it has rules that govern it. And you see, one of the major principles that govern a court of law is the principle of atrophua acquit and atrophua convict. So in our constitution, we call it the principle of double jeopardy. So that essentially means that if you've been taken to a court of law and the court has acquitted you, it has found that the case brought against you does not stand. You cannot be taken back to that particular court under the same facts, similar evidence. The only thing that can happen is that when they come back around, they need to come up with new individuals and or new offenses. But they cannot take back those particular individuals who were taken before under the same similar facts and similar offenses. It will be defeated in a court of law, unless the cases were withdrawn under a similar section we have in Kenya that we call 87A. We normally withdraw a case and say that we will reintroduce it later when we get witnesses. Yeah.
Gerald, patia watu kama hawa microphone, wa educate umma. Umesikia venye ameisema kwamba utaratibu wa sheria ni A, B, C, D. Lakini hawa watu wengine wenye hearsay ambao nia yao ni kugawanya na kuchochea, tafadhali let us kill them politically by denying them our audience, our time. Let's not talk about them. Au ndo maadui halisi wa Kenya. Let's empower power like what he just told us here.
Wow. All right. That's a very thorny issue. Na ikifika mambo ni personal na kwa ngori kidogo, but we hope Kenyans are going to listen, especially leaders. You know, Kenyans wananga shit until these guys come and tell us, you know, these guys MUTHIORA, these guys MAJIMBO, we usually don't have a problem with each other. So we are not going to revive these things for political expediency. What's left to see? But anyway, sisi wa Kenya pia inafaa tuchanjaruke. Uje utuleta hizo mapuzi, we did with them. Charity Kitur, mimi nasema great show, keep it up. Ashak the tackle. Brian keep quiet. My brother all the way from the USA and I'm watching from the West. Thank you. Gili keep boy, I'm watching from the States. I stay awake to watch the show, Gerald. Thank you so much, Gili. As a going black and reviving ICC cases like an almost ill wound, then scratched it and added chilies. Just leave a grenade to explode it. Let's put these cases behind us. I don't smell anything good from it. It's all boss Burgana some ICC is just baraund. That is a good question to Atwali and Murade. Richard Marshall Benazama tax holidays and help the farmers won't give you young Kenyans capital to start businesses. Neither will they sustain the existing ones. A good about distribution of resources and equal opportunity for us as for all, as well as equal rights before the law will help this country. I think there's this comment on baby. Yeah? As we're heading to our tail end, my friend, hii mambo ya parties, new parties and young people running for office, where is the future? Kwanza nasikia huko kwako kuna kashfa ya ownership ya party wako ya TNG.
Hiyo ulisikia wapi?
Mimi nilisikia.
Gerald,
there's a conflict.
We are trailblazing. We want to show people how things should be done, and we've been doing it. The pillars of the Great Nationhood Party of Kenya ni integrity, patriotism, character, courage, vision, action. We don't just throw these as punchlines. These form the backbone of our lives, the people who founded this. And we are urging others, hata kama mbeleni kidogo uliteleza, ungama, Mungu atakusamehea, karibu. We can make Kenya great. Now, this is our realization. Kwamba ile meza will never have space. Tuachie hawa jamaa hiyo meza yao chafu. Let us have our own table. Let us determine our future. Over 75% of Kenyans are below 35 years. Very soon, you'll not be in that age category. Utakuwa in the minority. Sai venye bado uko hapo una nguvu, you have a whole life ahead of you, make it count. It's possible. We can make Kenya great. We can be patriotic. I would like for us to live as brothers, as sisters, as one family. We are endowed with a lot of resources, and thankfully we have this culture of hard work, and people from around the world trust what Kenyans have to offer. Let's get it right from amongst ourselves. Watu wakaribie TGN, waingie kwenye mtandao, wajiandikishe. We are not looking for followers, we are looking for members. Tunatafuta watu ambao kikweli watapigania Kenya bila kuuliza Kenya itawapa nini, manake tayari ishawapa taifa. Give back to your motherland so that the next generation will find a better country than what it is today. It's possible. Let's make Kenya great.
Right. As I give it to Majimbo, niangalia comments pia hapa kidogo. Aona Nick Tarut anasema double chobadi, it won't work for Atwali Mradhe. Jackie anasema I feel for MUTHIORA. I come from Kericho County but do not support what happened. Is there a way MUTHIORA and others can be facilitated to go back to their former homes and maybe sell land if they do not want to settle back there? Mali ya mtu ni ya mtu, period. I think this is a conversation we should be having. As we're talking about building, reconciling and building consensus, we should be talking about all guys. This is what happened. Is it possible that we revert back and get back to where life was? But before we fix those mistakes, I don't think we even have a conversation of uniting this country. The fundamental issues must be dealt with. Let's go back to the Waki report. Let's go back to the Ndungu land report. Let's wind this thing back and say, okay, land shamba mtu alipoteza tunarudi inaenda inapatikana wapi. There are people who are actually kicked out of their land in 1963. Those people still live as paupers in this country. We need to revisit that. The election violence in 2007 is not about saying, okay, guys, let's forgive each other, let's love each other and move forward. We must go back and say, the people who are displaced, are they back on their land? If they're not back on their land, is there a way they can dispose of their land? Because we cannot talk about healing when we still have people like MUTHIORA who still have an history or the same thing that we are. That's what BBI should be all about. These stories of Jibadlisha Katiba, nini, ethics cannot be fixed by a document. That's what I feel. I don't know. I could be wrong. Naona Emmanuel Kisema Jackie gone very true. Kericho leaders must wake up and think big well. We all Kenyans should love and show difference away from selfish leaders. Kisema, good morning, Team Tackle, always tuned. Thank you so much, Kerich. As already, Majimbo, what do you think is the position of young leaders as we move to 2022?
First of
we seem to be making a lot of noise and not making any traction.
I must also say that I forgot to mention that I'm an organizing secretary of the Roots Party of Kenya.
Kwa kina Wajakoyo.
We had a few I had a few differences with my party leader, but we managed to resolve our differences. Mm-hmm. I want to encourage the young people of Kenya that, it's never late. Mm-hmm. Our time is now. Mm-hmm. The next coming election, let us all go out there and run for office. Mm. Our president in the Law Society of Kenya, Nelson Harvey, has encouraged us to go out there and run for office. Because you see, we as young people, just the same way my brother MUTHIORA said, we need a table. We need a seat on that table. We can only champion for our own issues when we are there. But when you send there a few greedy individuals who go there and get compromised, you will not get anything. But if a majority of us, substantial number, go out there, run for office, and we win a few positions here and there, it doesn't matter whether you have money, it doesn't matter whether you are rich or not. Go to the ground, convince people, give people your manifesto, give people your agenda. We will get these positions. Myself, I'm positioning myself to run for Senator Kakamega County, and because I believe the Senate is a proper house where I can champion issues of devolution. There's no problem. Me BBI pia sisi tunailima. Atuiachi, hatutapumzika. My name as Majimbo suggests that I'm supposed to champion for devolution. And that's what I'm going to do.
Majimbo ataleta Majimbo. What's your tackle of the day, MUTHIORA?
Hii BBI ningeomba tuichukulie na uzito kwamba tumeahidiwa italeta mabadiliko hapa Kenya. Lakini mabadiliko ya kweli ni kutoka kwako wewe binafsi. Ujue kwamba ni jukumu lako kuinua Kenya ili Kenya liwe taifa kuu. Inawezekana kwamba katika uchaguzi taifa liwe na utulivu. Maendeleo ili yapatikane ni lazima tuwe na mazingira ya amani. Let us live as brothers and sisters. We are a family. Our athletes have shown us how great Kenya is. Our scientists. We've even produced great leaders who have gone to show the world in those international organizations just what great potential this nation has. If you have it in you, please volunteer yourself to serve. The only way that the quality of leadership in Kenya is going to improve is by you who has not stepped forth coming forward. We already know how pathetic what we have is. If you're disappointed by it, please take the challenge
and change it.
Step forward. We have parties that have come up. We have platforms where you can engage. Please do not wait on someone else to be the change that you want to see. Be that change. You can do it. We all can make a difference. We all should try. Let's make Kenya great.
Majimbo.
If BBI is not going to accommodate divergent views, we are going to fail it. That is my tackle of the day. But I want to send a message to our leadership. Kindly, let us be people-centered. Let us avoid being self-centered. The problem we have in Kenya today is that our leaders are self-centered. If you look at this BBI document, they have brought about a lot of provisions that are in that document. Most of them are just in there to confuse people. The tax holidays, HELB, the ward kitty. Those are provisions to confuse people, but there are hidden agendas that are in this particular report, this particular document. And that's why I'm saying our leaders are self-centered. They must, first of all, make sure they cater for their own interests before catering for the interests of the common mwananchi. If we were honest about our problems, we would not see this kind of document being placed before us. We would have a good document. In fact, some of these proposals were not made by the common mwananchi. They came from nowhere. We do not know where they came from. They are just a few individuals who made sure that they sneaked in those provisions so that they could accommodate their interests. So I want to tell our leaders, please, for once, forget about, they have already made money, they are rich. Let us focus on the people. Let us enhance the common mwananchi, the hustlers, the people who are in informal settlements. Those are people we need to focus on.
Muthiora, you have something?
Kutekeleza katiba sio pendekezo. Pendekezo la BBI kuhusu kina mama ni kwamba ikiwa governor atakuwa wa kiume, naibu wake awe wa kike. Hilo ni pendekezo, sio amri. We are talking about inclusivity. Ya tafakari hayo.
Alright. Naona kuna jamaa analalamika anasema simu haiendi through. Na simu iko wazi. Labda kama kuna shida leo lakini nitaangalia baadaye. Naona kuna watu wanalalamika wanasema simu haiingii. I don't know what's going on. Julian anasema good morning Bitok good morning Gerald Bitok, good morning my brother. This number I have tried many times, it doesn't go through. I don't know how other people get the line, but I have a lot of my views in your program, which is good, and I have a lot of things to express out concerning BBI. The chairman of Jubilee Party in Nyanza region, I have a lot of issues to talk about, especially when it comes to peace in Nyanza here at the time of elections. Nambari iko wazi, lakini sasa kwa sababu tunafunga, lakini sijui labda kuna shida ya simu leo, tutaenda kuangalia tujue shida iko wapi. Naona kuna watu walalamika wanasema simu haikuji. Acha niangalie kama kuna Saidi Peter anasema following from Malaba. Asante sana watu wa Malaba. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you. It's all a pleasure to have you. We have to have you again, and you need to take your positions as young leaders, and we need to have these conversations going. Tusikuma mpaka tufikisha mahali ambapo tunajua kwamba inaweza tusaidia. For the tacklers who have been online all this time, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to have you. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Keep sharing the broadcast. Afadhali endelea kushare. Keep sharing. Let's make a bigger tackle family so that we can have this conversation, build consensus. Very soon tunaanza kuja pale ground kwa town halls ya ukweli sasa, si stadium. Tuanze kuzungumzia tujue ni nipi na lipi lipo ndani kwa mambo ya BBI as we move forward. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a tackle. And the tackle does what? The tackle ends now. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. At least it's a Tuesday. No, on Friday I'll make a mistake. I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow is Saturday. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Bye-bye.